Hi, welcome to BCI Ask the Experts. I'm Brad White, joined today by two of our experts, Dr. Philip Lancaster
Hello, guys.
and Dr. Bob Weber.
Hey, Brad.
So we're happy to have them to answer your question. And we've got a great listener question today. As always, if you have a question, you can send us an email at bci@ksu.edu. And our question today, we wanted to get Dr. Weber on to answer because it's about efficiency. So the question was, what is the best way to assess calf efficiency? Is it comparing calf weaning weight to the dam's weight, or is it comparing calf weaning weight to the dam's metabolic weight? I'll let you go first.
And those are the two choices.
Those are your choices.
Those are the choices. I'm going to go with the dam metabolic weight because it represents sort of cost of efficiency, and maintenance requirement doesn't scale linearly with body weight. So that's
Okay.
my vote.
Philip?
Yeah, well, I kind of agree with Bob on that one, but I'm going to open up your criteria here a little bit, and and I'm going to say if we could measure it, I would say one of the best ways would be intake per pound of calf weaned or something like that. How much feed, which is usually our biggest cost, how much feed is required to get 1 pound of weaning weight?
Okay, so he opened it up a little bit, and I like that, but it's not easy, nor am I sure possible to measure unless you're in a confined environment. What would be your choice? And let's go with something that you could measure.
Oh, man. I was going to go with metabolic rate per pound of calf weaned. And, I think one of the things as we think about efficiency, we have to contrast individual animal performance versus herd performance. And so broadening out our perspective a little bit to capture both of the examples you started with have measurements of success. We weaned a calf, which in cow-calf production, the problem really isn't the cows that wean calves, it's the cows that don't wean calves. And so capturing, weaning weight per cow exposed and maybe some method to divide those up and look at who the cows are that aren't performing, it provides us some insight to herd performance.
Yeah, because they're two different measures. When you think about weaning weight per cow exposed, that's a great measure, but then I'm not able to incorporate her weight as well
Right.
into that process because that only comes from the cows that had calves.
Yeah.
Philip?
Yeah, and I think Bob's on the right track there. It depends on what you're after. Are you trying to find the individuals that are better, or are you trying to just assess your overall herd? And so, obviously, when you're looking at individuals, the ones that don't wean a calf are obviously gone. You're not paying attention to those. But on a herd perspective, you want to capture the idea that we don't have cows that get bred. We have cows that lose calves early on, pre-weaning. And so, again, I'm going to go back to nutrition, and I'm going to say if I could look at, on a herd basis, the total amount of feed consumed relative to the total amount of pounds weaned, I kind of captured all of that into that metric of pounds per calf weaned. If I look at it on a herd basis versus just calculating it for individual cows that weaned one calf.
But I can't cull individuals then.
No, I'm
I've
looking
only
at
got a
how
herd.
well my herd matches my environment kind of in that perspective versus making a genetic selection criteria.
Okay. So how well would you expect these, and I'm going to go back to the original listener question, and you both kind of leaned toward pounds of calf per metabolic body weight of cow is what we lean towards. How would you use that to make a decision, and would it be useful?
Well, I think it provides some insights to which cows maybe size-wise fit your production environment the best. And so incorporating, maybe looking at, what is the average mature weight or yearling weight of the bulls that produce those females to kind of get you on track to kind of select bulls for replacement females moving forward that fit into that kind of genetics perspective.
Okay. Philip?
Well, I think it gets at to what's your kind of ratio of maintenance cost versus milk production. And all that really fits into the nutrition of the cow. How well does your nutritional environment allow her to produce adequate milk relative to her maintenance cost? And so when I look at weaning weight, it's correlated with milk, not perfectly, but it gives me an estimate of how much milk she's producing, and then her metabolic body size gives me an estimate of her maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think great point there, because you're talking about how you might ratio it. And you said the same thing of it's within my herd, where do those cows rank? So we're thinking about doing some rankings. We may or may not do some culling there. Excellent feedback. Appreciate you coming on to help answer this question. Bob ended up with 8 points and Philip ended up with 7. So appreciate you guys coming in today. And if you have any other questions for us, you can send us an email at bci@ksu.edu.